Hey everyone, it's Justin. You know me. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am a graphic designer and a self-taught calligrapher. And today we're going to be talking about something that's super important to anyone in the creative field. And let me say that again. In today's video, we're going to be talking about something that is important for anyone in the creative field. And the topic is how to develop your own unique style in graphic design. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, we are good. Right, and now tip number one is experiment with different styles. It means, like, experimenting with different styles means do not be afraid to try different techniques, different color schemes, and design elements. Because the more you do this, like exploring with different techniques and different color schemes and design elements, this will help you explore more, and also you will find what speaks to you because you are in your bubble. We all get in the bubble and our comfort zone of what we are accustomed to doing and what we really like seeing, and that truly leads to us not really helping us grow as designers, and at the same time help us create our own unique style. And once again, that is tip number one. Let's now go ahead and continue to tip number two. And now we are on tip number two, finding it. I just dropped my notes. I'll just hold on to it. Actually, let's see if I could put it. There we go. That'll work. And now we are on tip number two, finding inspiration everywhere. Inspiration, for some, it can may feel as if it's impossible to be inspired by, for example, let's say nature, but you could literally find inspiration everywhere. You could look at art, architecture, fashion, and even nature. Because inspiration, what I have learned, it does not necessarily have to always come from designers. And truly, the more diverse influences that you have, the more unique your style will become. And that is what I continue to notice about myself, and just how my work has evolved so much and continues to evolve. So I'll say this again, inspiration does not just have to come from other designers. Tip number three, develop a signature element. So a signature element could be a color palette, a unique texture, and or a recurring shape. In my recent work over the past year or so, you will see that something that I have reoccurring on my pieces is my logo. How I put it right at the bottom, right in the center, turn the opacity down a little bit. And that is just ways for me to have something always consistent with my work. And you know, really over time, people will recognize your work, and they will recognize your work by the signature touch. Meaning, let's say you create a piece, you're the type to create pieces just in black and white, and you have a certain style to them and a certain layout. People will over time realize that, oh, this is such and such's work. And it is really awesome to see how someone could reach that level, because there's a few people on my Instagram that I follow. I can immediately recognize their work when I'm looking for inspiration on Instagram and or Pinterest. Tip number 4 is stay consistent. Once you found what works for you, keep the consistency across projects. Meaning, if you are the type to create a project a certain type of way using this approach and you're able to solve the problem, keep using that because that is what works for you. And at the same time, you have to make sure that you're not doing the same thing over and over. And it's more so when I say stay consistent, it is building a cohesive body of work. So you're able to show your work to whomever and they're able to look through and see that, oh, okay, they are cohesive with this placement of text and also with this layout, and able to write me a strong description of what the project entails. And I see that they're doing this through all pieces, and like, wow, okay, that looks really good. Just like these videos, how if you see back to the early on when I started doing them, really didn't have much of an idea of how to go about executing them to making them cohesive. Only thing that probably was cohesive about them was me starting out with yo yo yo, and now I tend to tone it down a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. All right, let's go ahead and get into the last tip of the video. And I want to say thank you so much for making it this far in the video. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment down below. All right, now tip número 5. And last but not least, tip number 5, evolve over time. Let me go ahead and put the tip up here. Your style should and can evolve over time. And having your style evolve over time, it just means that you are growing as a designer. And the more you grow as a designer, so will your work. And another thing that I like to do whenever I have the light bulb in that goes off, that is, do not be afraid to revisit and refine your style. And I will say for me, what works with refining my style is how I always mention doing research, as well as being the type to sketch quite often and just try out new things and see what will happen. And even if it's something that I'm starting off with and I get scared about it, I tend to like to push myself all the way through, because there's nothing, well, not nothing. I am not the biggest fan of sketching and working on a page and just feeling like, oh my God, all that sheet is just, I could have used that sheet for something else, and then I'm just over there erasing. And anyhow, let me stay on topic. That was tip number 5, evolve over time. And now let's go ahead and finish out this video. Well, so there you have it. 5 tips to help you develop your own unique style in graphic design. Remember, it's all about experimenting, finding inspiration, and staying true to your creative vision. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear how you're developing your own style. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace and love.